Alright, welcome back everyone. It is Monday again, 7th week. We are in the lull period, right? The period where we're filling in, optimizing our routes, and vibing. So I came with a few pocket stories if I find opportunities to share it. For now though, I think I'm going to do something a little bit different today in order to change it around, see what it's like. So I'm gonna look at what I have for my Sentinel. Right, for my Sentinel thing. I mentioned this a couple of times where before, a bit back, maybe 5 modules ago. I'm gonna say I think it's easier if I do it this way. 5 modules ago? Roughly. When they changed the Sentinel. I haven't really touched it. But generally speaking, most of my segments like this, I'm pretty sure in North Dark, I did use the Sentinel. Oh, I think Menzo Barazan. Menzo Barazan was the last time people ever saw the Sentinel. Or at least I played the Sentinel. Because of changes to certain things that basically crippled, in my opinion, dramatically did not compensate for the loss of a playstyle, right? And the playstyle still doesn't exist now. In fact, there wasn't a new playstyle to take its place or any additional options. I think whoever made that change was incredibly short-sighted and without, for lack of a better word, didn't know what they were talking about, personally. The way they spun it was like, oh, okay, well, this playstyle is violating a specific thing, and that was doing how AP works with one of the Sentinel's tasks. But they gave the idea that this will create more competition or other playstyles in its place, but instead those changes did absolutely nothing to compensate for it. Instead, you are relegated to a specific playstyle that already exists, right? So removing options, in my opinion, is a very excellent way of a lose-lose situation for a live service game, right? So that's what happened. But I'm kind of curious if the compensation of gear, which obviously I have very few gear because, again, poor decision makings and leadership, in my opinion, making gear rare and rare for the exceptional peeps. In fact, there was a mail that was sent out to compensate. It's not really a compensation. I think it's a band-aid. And I didn't even consider it. It's not even... I didn't even process the connection with it. But apparently, it was a very swift decision making when they changed up how loot works, right? And I feel like the person who wrote the message might be the person, just the messenger, because the person who made the decision, I think it's an incredibly unpopular decision. But we got everyone got some free VIP, right? So for those who had VIP, because reroll tokens are cheapened or not used anymore, largely because they believe they sent a commentary or saying like, oh, we got, you guys know that we had to change up the loot system, and the loot system is attached to this egregious design choice where like, oh, we have celestial choices now, and in the way it's designed, we want the loot system to, in my opinion, increase playtime. So this loot system was like how to distribute or redistribute the loot is the way they argue about or suggest that the reroll tokens be taken out because they were afraid access to this will cheapen the value of these things. Perhaps I have no idea. Maybe this is a setup for the next module. I don't find that email incredibly, or this mail, it was an in-game mail. I don't find that comment that person made incredibly auspicious. I find it as a foreshadowing that a system like this was favorable in some way. Like they had an indicator of some sort, which also means that potentially my reflection on this is not representative of what people want. They want increasingly rare things that get turned over, and it's going to stay like that without a increase in power creep. I doubt it. I really doubt it. Next module, there's going to be power creep, even more power creep, and then this stuff is still going to be one of those heart-wrenching moments where when they get power creeped out, like this doesn't work in my opinion. It's very difficult to defend. And then they're making some illusions that reroll tokens will be integrated somehow in future things down the line. Like I don't know if they can process the idea that people who play casually, when you talk about reroll tokens, like yeah, you want your players to play a lot so that you can use up resources. Well, reroll tokens, to illustrate, like this is one of the tunes that I played quite a bit, right? And you scroll down here and you just look at reroll tokens, 5,660. On average, like my, I have 12 characters on average. I played 2 new characters as a refresher every recruitment, Neverwinter recruitment, just to see if they changed anything. But nearly every character has more than this. They have like 6,000 to 7,000, like at least double this on some of the characters. So there's over like I'm trying to do the math. There's over like 70,000 reroll tokens on my account, and they're saying things like, "Oh, because of that, this would cheapen the value of these things." Like, you have to understand that an item that is susceptible to power creep, if they're making it permanent, then I can't even imagine what the live service model they're aiming for. But for these reroll tokens, if they mean they're going to do something about it, do something about it. I feel like oftentimes lots of these like apology things, I should have saved the mail. It's more like vaporware promises. Like this stuff, like I don't. Okay. So you're expecting people to achieve these things and get these things, and you're worried about upfront value. Like, show me the data. I would love to see the data. Like, how do you know? What was the decision? What was the data that motivated the decision for it? I can assure you that despite having rerolls and playing aggressively at some points, my like collection will demonstrate that I don't think it's a concern of rarity for all the people you're losing, but maybe it's like 1%. And all the people who are gaining stuff feel like they have to make a competition between themselves. So the remaining elitists or loyalty players perhaps get a kick out of seeing who is luckier amongst them. But like, if you're looking at these things, I'm sure you have data for this. Like, does this look like you need to increase rarity because you want to increase rarity of the year? The last time I vigorously tried to get something, I think on my paladin, I guess, we had like, or I had, so like maybe 2 of these things, and this one was the most vigorously popular, like the easiest to get at, accordingly. I maybe had like 3 pieces from that, from the whole period. And then this one, maybe like 2 pieces. So your argument is that now you're not only just saying whoops or here you go, and then you have people who have not even an outlet to use these things, honestly. And what are you doing? Like, am I just gonna run this ad nauseam? I don't even think the idea of being able to exhaust your reroll tokens is a thing to get the opportunity to even do so. Like, it also cheapens the incentive to want to complete it. Way to lock it in. I mean, way to lock it in, at least in my opinion. And I'm sure someone is going to have some gripes like, well, you just have to get good and control other people in order to achieve it. Okay, yeah. I'll pass. So, let's go and rehabilitate our sentinel here and see how long it takes for our sentinel to complete this stuff. So those things have to be replaced. Do I even have any gear that replaces those things? Probably not. I haven't used this guy in a long time. Not particularly. Yeah, I haven't ran anything on this guy as a tank in a long while. Oh, wait. Oh. Nothing required. This will be fine. Maybe not that thing. Maybe something more functional. Everything's so outdated. It's fine. Okay, so we're gonna run around and see how long it takes for this to be completed on the Sentinel. I have no offensive things. Oh, and I also got an update. Besides the patch thing, I did know that I was missing a lot of boon points, and those boon points were also refunded or given to me. It was a long-lasting bug, but boon points are kind of irrelevant past a certain point a lot of times, especially from a tank perspective. All right. Yeah, so I guess we use takedown, mighty leap, and see how long this takes. That's about what I was interested in. Just kind of curious. Let's use mounts and just toss this into something. Nothing to be tossed into. Okay. So we have supplies, the annoying assassin quests, and then some spiders. Okay, so this is supplies. Supplies go this way. Yeah, I honestly, what's interesting about the effects of this module is that I'm even, my interest is peaked on what they decide to do in the future regarding constantly increasing playtime by introducing higher and higher tiers of rarity. I think that's a logical fallacy. It takes up quite a long time. Looking for one more DPS with Cube and can solo kill Neverwinter. Still at it. Still at it. Alright, so we got this. Spiders are on the southwest point of the map, so this is about equal distance. So we go and grab a new quest before heading down there, heading southwest. And then we permanently have a block off on the assassin because you actually have to wait either on people, which I don't know if that still works, or you get the assassin quest, which is easily, I would argue this is probably one of the worst things so far. It could get worse, obviously, but that quest design is incredibly, for lack of a better word, short-sighted. We got trolls, then we turn around and go for the spiders. Trolls are good. Trolls are quick. Well, they're quick if you're using a pain giver. It's so clunky. I can't believe it. Like, I've forgotten how clunky this has become. And I'm almost convinced that Battle Rage is much shorter. That's because it's held in contrast to escalating rage. Yeah, no form of retaliation or anything. It is defend with nothing. Kind of humorous. One of the things that they changed was that Sheer Strike restores stamina. However, when you're doing this kind of thing, you have things that scale with less health and less stamina for Barbarian. So instead of, in my opinion, raising base mitigation across the board for Barbarian to stay in risk, right? High risk, high reward kind of thing. They force a Barbarian, a Sentinel, into playing like a tank that overstacks health and overstacks armor and whatnot, which makes them less effective with their skills. Kind of weird. It's like someone keeps thinking that they can't diversify. Someone keeps having trouble diversifying. And then when there was an offensive playstyle to offset the tank, they take it away. It's very... Still a sore spot to this day. It's pretty optimistic. I think Blood Fury at 0 stamina should be increased by triple or double its magnitude. Because you run the risk of doing nothing. Having a mechanic that reflects the risk you're taking would be kind of great in that. In order to make it in line with the other tanks, right? Because that's what they were trying to do during the update to tanking. Try to bring all the other tanks in line. I mean, there were fewer Sentinels even before the change, so I'm not entirely sure where they got their data. Show me the data, right? We've already checked out of the module. I think the module is entertaining. Like the zone is quite a nice zone to show to people and whatnot. But I think most of the stuff is pretty tough to say that the direction is heading in a direction that I would consider auspicious. Rations? Okay. As long as I don't get prisoners. I think if I get prisoners, it's going to suck. But if I don't get prisoners, pretty good. Prisoners will take a while. Everything else, I actually prefer to be on a tank than in a pain giver. You know, provided that tanks actually have AoE, which they don't typically, outside of one very special exception. Somewhere in my mind, I jokingly think that if I mention any more about how a certain tank is far more enjoyable to do AoE stuff, they for whatever reason in their infinite wisdom say like, oh, okay, so let's bring all the other tanks in line, so you remove that from the particular tank, which of course I'm referring to the Justicar. Because the last time I talked about glowing tank dynamics was the last time I played this Sentinel openly, right? Yeah, so you have so much mitigation that negates the use of Blood Fury. There's no semblance of reward. I think one interesting quality of life suggestion would be to not have depreciation for Sentinel's rage. Like right now, you know how you see that the rage is ticking down because they have to be in combat? Remove that. Remove the depreciation. The Sentinel has rage as a currency, period, instead of having any form of depreciation. Like, rage doesn't settle from a Sentinel. Thematically, the Sentinel is always taking on pain, right? So they're always angry. They don't have to stay in battle to do so. In fact, it's very difficult for a Sentinel to constantly stay in battle. Right, remove this decaying rage. A tank enters with rage and leaves with rage. I would think that would place Sentinels in line with Justicars and Vanguards because they have access to their abilities. It's hard to deny that the Sentinel do not have access to its abilities, especially its tab. Go over here, pick this guy up. I'm pretty good at this one. This one is good. To some extent. Was there something up here? No. Yeah, my biggest gripe is the loss to movement. Probably. There is a lacking of flow. Alternatively, there's also how Blood Fury or what's this called? Primal Fury. Primal Fury has a cast time. Remove the cast time. Because it gets canceled all the time, and it also unreliably triggers or unreliably animates while you getting bopped. This has a cast time of what, 1 second? 0 cast time. Or maybe like 0.2 seconds cast time. I mean, Takedown and Mighty Leap has a lower cast time than Blood Fury, than Primal Fury. What is that about? You want to reward risky play with a cast time. Alright, here we are again. Spooters galore. One of the nice things that, well, since I've been speaking largely about negative things, one positive thing is the artifact, for the most part, this like new artifact flows really well with Fury and other things. The Blood Fury and whatnot, because it allows you to heal when you've taken damage that you inflicted on yourself. I know that sounds like a silver lining, like, but you could do things without inflicting damage on yourself. The go counters that. So I was doing this, right now I'm doing this experiment because I'm kind of curious if having an AoE artifact speeds up the process, because you can kind of juggle the two, maybe. It compensates for the lack of an AoE to some extent. Although I would solo this type of content on a Vanguard if the Vanguard had... I think the Vanguard definitely does not have a AoE use case. I mean, you can double charge though, I suppose. Not that hot. How is this relevant to the current state of the campaign zones? Well, I like roaming around as a tank, largely because it seems like they're insistent on making the activities in the zones require or scale to the point where you may want to be in tank to take an invite, for example, or a healer to take an invite. But meanwhile, while you wait and organize these groups constantly on a rotating basis, you could do something. You could complete quests while you're doing it, right? So that's the idea. Stay in tank. Wait till someone says, "Oh, LFG," and it's like, "Oh, my assassin stuff popped too." So that's kind of why there's an incentive, in my opinion, to stay in a tank thing. Sometimes with enough competence for your tank character, you may not necessarily need a healer to complete things like Tenebroloff and stuff. Well, the alternative is someone says, well, it doesn't take you that long to go back to base and find a campfire and change your loadout. Relatively speaking, yeah, it does. Because then when you sit there in the campfire, you have to hope that the group is ready to go, or they're gonna do their thing. But oftentimes the people sit there and wait till they gather enough people. And usually that means fill up and do as quickly as possible, despite spending arguably even more time waiting Yeah, not the greatest of situations. And those tasks are worth less in value now. Being a tank is nice here because this used to be like an F tier. I feel like this is an F tier quest. But if you're a tank, you just sit there and get knocked and it won't interrupt your interaction. So that's kind of a nice touch, I suppose. If you're a pain giver, there's always a chance you might end up dying. That's kind of nice. I count my W's when I can. How are we doing with time? I actually wasn't paying attention to the time. Kind of fortunate. It feels like it's gonna take an hour and a half-ish. It's not really that much different from being on the Blade Master. Oh, you know, another potential alternative is have Challenger slash be replaced by the Ranger classes at will. Or maybe even the Rogues classes at will, which it hits 360 as opposed to facing in front. As far as I know, Challenger slash only hits in the like maybe 180 forward. There's a chance it's slightly bigger than 180. As far as I know, it does not hit behind. Honestly, it would be kind of fun to replace Challenger slash with a weak spinning move, like a spin to win kind of thing, but it deals like vanilla damage, or like low damage, kind of like a whirlwind, but you're just spinning wildly. I mean, you can keep the honestly, you could keep the animation the same. Let's make it hit 360. It kind of already looks like it's supposed to hit 360. That doesn't change the tank's potency or anything. It makes it so that they don't have to rotate or turn around all the time. Kinda suits the theme of being a barbarian, being wildly swinging around. I think bonus health whenever the stamina is exhausted is a great replacement for getting more stamina. Bonus health. Replace most instances of stamina restoration to bonus health that stays until it is removed. No depreciation, no timeout. That'd be kind of nice. And thematically appropriate. Alright, trolls. It would be an S tier, but I'm on a tank. So, not an S tier. Or actually, maybe we can just lump them together. Come here. Come on. Come on. Okay. Wardens. Warden is we wait till we get we wait until we get something in the top left corner, which is rations. And we're still blocked with red ambush because that is pretty much a dumb quest. Yep. Wanted posters. Oh no. I landed on wanted posters. Alright, how do the wanted posters go? Okay. So we head this way, we drop down, take that. We head over here, over here, over here, go up, do our... wardens. And then finish off the wanted poster. Okay. So one, and we head down here and around. We pick up 3 here. One, go down here. Oh wait, I think it's just 2. I could have sworn there were 3 here. Yeah, there should be 1 across. Have those rocks always been there? Has that stone japer always been there? Oh, that's kind of neat. I don't remember seeing that. Yeah, I missed one. What? Yeah, I lost his route. Because this route doesn't occur. Oh, I hadn't occur in a while. Okay. So, let's go. Oh, there it is. Right. We head on over here to our warden stuff. I'm not sure if these wardens count. Yep. Cast time. Remove it. Pretty adamant on removing the cast time for Primal Fury. One key from all those guys. I think they might have reduced the chances of the key dropping. I swear. I would not be surprised. Yep. Takes so long. Okay. Picked up 4 keys, right? Yep. Alright. No assassins yet. And we have to pick up this wanted post. All good. It's okay. I think Sentinels are serviceable. Is that guy not aggro? Nice. That's neat. And then we have pick up the poster from down here. That's the second time the Mount Power was cancelled. And then it was placed on cooldown, but it never triggered. Happens all the time. Having Mount Powers on cooldown, cast time on Mount Powers. And then if you happen to get hit while during the cast time, sometimes it put it on cooldown without actually using it. Happens to Pegasus all the time. Alright. I don't know how many times I've already done this, but that is the name of the game. Ooh, undead. I like it. So where we're going? Wraiths, and we just go to Wraiths because the undeads are there. Not bad. The Steam sale is coming up soon, right? I think it starts on the 26th. So I wiped my wish list, and now I'm looking to see what I'm gonna set up for next month. It's an exciting time. I have some downtime. Yep, getting constantly canceled during a cast time for Battle Rage. Immune to most CCs unless you're casting Battle Rage while trying to be immune. And you get jostled around because even Battle Rage has a cast time. Well, I guess this is called unstoppable. Unstoppable. When you're very much stoppable. Kinda need you, Rafe. Alright. Alright, you stay up there. Yes. Start a campaign. Make Blood Fury. Make Blood Fury great again. I don't know what they did to Blood Fury actually. Feet. And maybe they lowered the magnitude of it. Let me see. Blood Fury. Rage cost reduced to 30. Is reduced to 30. That's fine. That's while unstoppable reduced 0 and now restores. It's equal. 200 is 600. I don't actually know what the original was, but 600 seems very low considering what you have to do to get the value of 600. I think Blood Fury or Primal Fury. Yeah, like there's no modifier. I thought there might have been a modifier on the feat Blood Fury. Oh, looks like Pegasus got canceled again. I would say 1200 magnitude. At least 1200 magnitude for 0 stamina. If you're at 0 stamina, 1200 magnitude. It can still go down to 200 magnitude. That's perfectly fine. Like 200 magnitude at full stamina, but 1200 when you have 0 stamina. Alright, so we got the assassin thing going. Now I just gotta bump into one and slowly hit it like a wet noodle until it dies. Until the dude dies. Maybe we'll bump into one here. I think they're set to show up when you're in combat. More likely. Like, they'll show up here. There, oh, there it is. Yeah, there we go. Nice thing about being a tank, I suppose. You just hit them like a wet noodle until they die. Sneaky, sneaky. Take this. Poor guy. He stands there forever, waiting for someone to recognize him as being useful. There's a name mob that stands in front of that area. I don't think I've ever seen someone take him down. Eh. Hmm. Alright. So what, that's 15? Now that we finally liberated the third slot, we're at 80. What time is it? 12:30. Yeah, let's say about the same amount of time. Doesn't really dramatically change. But you can group things together without getting popped like a tomato. So about the same. And then you can, you know, even more reliably solo all the assassins at the end. Burn bone piles. Oh wait. No, I didn't because it was Vanishing Act. No. We're at 75. Now we're gonna do. Oh, you know what? Instead of takedown 750, no. Come on. Yep, we're just gonna drag those people around. Come on. Gather up, chums. I got hit backwards from an unknown source. Wet noodle, wet noodle. Yeah, we're only doing this. We're only doing this character today. Can you please? Okay. Let's wait. Okay. Oh, hey, look, an assassin. Who would have thought? Yep. Get CC'd even while guarding. Still CC'd while guarding. CC'd while unstoppable. That didn't trigger on the spot. But that thing has a cast time too. What's the cast time of? What's the cast time of this? Wow, another assassin. Hello. I was just standing. I fear that when there are 4 assassins, the tank is just gonna stand there and get CC'd for days until you die. I have a distinct feeling that's what's going to happen. But we'll find out. I'm actually genuinely curious. Are they just gonna appear? Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. I just stayed in one position. Yeah. Yeah, what's the point of being a tank when all you do is get CC'd by regular mobs? Good news is they don't really hit that hard, I suppose. Unless they chain CC you. Yep, chain CC. Oh, that's a bad thing. That guy was the trapper. Wait, what's all? I was like, what's all these guys doing? The guys, I spent so long doing this that the other guys respond. But yeah, you know, one of the nice things about being a tank. You scale a little better with lack of equipment, I suppose. The heckin' assassins are still alive, man. Alright, there we go. I completed the assassin's quest. I got the cube that I will probably never use. Maybe in the next module. And what I mean by next module, I might go back and pick up, I don't know, boon points or something. I like to think the boon points do not require taking down an assassin, but I could be wrong about that. Let's see. Boon points. No, but you still have to do heroic encounters. Makes sense that they would force heroic encounters on you. It's typical. Nothing changed there. Usual expectations. Okay. Not bad though. I don't want to attack any of them anymore. He's just here to sneakily release the peeps. Don't you dare. Okay. Okay. Right. Almost done. Their experience is actually an improvement than playing with Blade Master. I actually quite enjoy changing it up. You know, I kind of wonder how well Whirlwind worked. If maybe there was some spaghetti code that affected the way Whirlwind worked. Or not Whirlwind, but Spinning Strike. Let's find out. This game does not differentiate between a consistent attacking equivalent to a magnitude versus one shot. So it doesn't distinguish between those. The Whirlwind says 1400 magnitude, but that's 1400 magnitude provided you were executing the whole thing and that target was being hit the whole time, which is typically not true. It has a wind up period, or it's kind of like most battle barbarian stuff. It takes time to start up. They're not easily accessible. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna burn the corpse, right? The corpse burn takes us in several places. I don't think the assassin quest does not give you currency. Interesting enough. That might have offset the weekly being pretty pathetic. Okay, so we have undead scrying orb. That will take us to the same place. The scrying orbs down here. And this is our last set. And this was kind of nice. Very chill. It's like nice campaigning as a tank. Get the old rust off. The surveillance thing is. Wow. I somehow did not aggro anything there. Ugh. Parkour! Oh my parkour. You can't jump in certain angles. It just locks you out. But I take this one. This is S tier. Just got a parkour. Alright. Now we burn the second one. Does this take us to undead stuff? Possibly. Oh, it does. Oh. I think we need to do 15, right? Yep, all three. We're gonna say an hour and 15 minutes. That's pretty solid. Low stress. Kick the assassin's butt. What am I doing here? Oh, right. And then now we need undeads. What's a convenient place for undeads? Over there is fine. And we're good to go. I think this is pretty good. You know what? Next week, I will do the run. Oh, that's bad. Oh. Yeah, spinning strike. Not great. You know what I would say about spinning strike? What was it? 1400 magnitude? For sentinels, increase it to 2000. not for blade masters, of course, but because you have to physically be there the whole time. That is a high risk proposition for a tank. I mean, alternatively, you can hit tab and then do spinning strike, and you hope that spinning strike concludes before your timer is up, and then you can end with a primal fury to heal up. That's okay too. That's making lemonades with lemons. All right. Perhaps I'll update my sentinel. do some old content, the old dungeons, right? As people continue to drift and overgear, you can probably pull out older dungeons. Finding people is gonna be tough. Not during this time. What do we get for... Oh, we don't get anything because this is week 7, right? Just a car is obviously the king because they have an on-demand AoE. But its solo targeting used to be like meh, but now it's pretty good because the Sentinel, I would say, had wonderful single target stuff. Not anymore though. Has to go running a dungeon, something like that. Yeah, not bad, not bad. I enjoyed it. I will try to outfit the Vanguard. See what I can do with the Vanguard. I haven't tried questing as a Vanguard. Largely because the Dreadnought can defend, but hold up. I don't remember what we have available for the Vanguard. Knight's Valor doesn't do anything. Iron Warrior doesn't do anything. We have Line Breaker, 300 mag. That's not great. Knight's no, that doesn't do anything. That doesn't do anything. Anvil still does 880. That's pretty good. 325. That's pretty okay. So what is it we would use? What is Line Breaker? 19 12 seconds. About the same. That's our AoEs. I mean, like 700. Man, Anvil is 880. Guess the cooldowns are kind of... You got anything interesting? No. Was it bolt charge no longer knocks back and now grants to cleaving bolt? Oh yeah, that's to lead into the cleave. That's gross. That's the defensive stuff. That's still defensive stuff. And then retaliate. Oh yeah, that's right. They have retaliate. That's not too bad. Actually, this... Honestly, retaliate, 360 degrees. Retaliate, change it to 360 degrees. Excellent quality of life. Yeah, man. 880. Okay. Yeah, we'll try to do a Vanguard strap through. I like playing tanks. It's fun gathering things together and grouping them up, you know. It's kind of part of the... So this was pleasant. Having the assassin hanging around and interrupting and all that stuff. I don't like that, but it's bearable. It's a little bit more bearable playing a tank than running around as a pain giver. Alright. Well, there you have it. Not much to really write home about. It's fairly normal. I still give everything after a 4... it's a 5 out of 10. It's average, right? Like, nothing really has changed, per se. This experience, even though it's marred consistently, I usually don't deduct points for the same feature being marred, which is the weekly, making it longer than it really requires. What else can I say? Oh, I did take a look at one last thing. I did take a look at the campaign store. What was the campaign store? And for a moment, just for a wee bit moment, I thought they had like a repurposed thing, but no, it's not true. Actually, what is this? Okay, this is a norm. This is the one that's successful. And then here's the campaign story, right? For the seals, for the trial stuff. Same deal. Masters stay in masters. You only earn credits towards masters. In fact, I think, or like advanced, I don't know if you earn. Do you earn this credit through masters? Yeah, yeah. So it's always from top down, right? It's always top down. I think that's, in my opinion, is backwards. And yeah, nothing really home to write about other than they decide to make the rerolls, right? Their idea was, oh, the chest contains a chance at the. So hear me out. These things, right? Their argument is that they remove the reroll, right? In order to heighten the value of these things. But you can only find this in the master's trial. So what about this? What happened? Why does it matter? Why does it matter that the advanced dungeon can reroll their chests? That's not true. They can't. In fact, you can't even re-roll the normal chest. So, there's no value gained here. I feel like it's more of a band-aid. Someone decided, yeah, we're gonna make up, in my opinion, a retroactive reason for this, and it's to increase the value. No, it's to reduce the chance and to increase the playtime. Because now you open the chest and you can't re-roll this either. Unless you're telling me that somehow the chest has a slight chance of getting this, but an infinitely negative chance to get it during the advanced run. I don't think so. So someone's playing damage control. And I think this stuff, personally, needs to go. Like, if I see it again in the next module, then it's more like you just pretend it doesn't exist. I mean, I pretend it doesn't exist now, because the next one is going to be a little bit different, right? Because it's going to be a dungeon. So the idea is this stuff is probably not going to occur until the next trial, right? Celestial quality gear is not going to be present in the next module. The next module is going to be a dungeon module, or maybe like something else. And these things will stay coveted, as in they stay there. But while they did that, they decided to throw away 4 months, right? And you wait for the next one, which is what I'm going to do. You wait out the trials. You typically wait out most of the trials. Way to go. Way to go. Way to try to cover your butt. But hey, neat sorry excuse for explaining. Like, if it was true, in my opinion, that they were talking about this specifically, then the advanced dungeon chest should be able to be re-rolled, because this is not the same as this. I don't think it takes a lot of hindsight to see that if you make a change to something, you try to reduce the change to other things. But I think it's someone being lazy, in my opinion, and said, well, we're changing the chest, so we're going to apply it across the board. Personal take. A little aggressive. But something doesn't check out. Some things don't check out. Actually, yeah. Anyways, that's my 2 cents on what this is what happened between last week and this week. It was 7 days of VIP given to the people who have VIP, and they made a statement about, oh, we understand that reroll tokens no longer apply, so like it dramatically diminishes the value of VIP. To me, really, dramatically reduce the value of VIP. Like, I think that's an understatement. A really big understatement. Right. Alright. Even then, I have all that value, but it doesn't have any value. You don't run things. Like, or I mean, like, I don't enjoy running things. I don't like the design that constantly says run as few as possible because there's no other incentive to play the game. All your incentives is in the trial baggage. Yeah. Sorry to leave on an average note, but that's typically the average note. So it's a 5 out of 10 for today. I think overall, if we're going to project this, I don't see any surprises. This module is probably one of the worst modules in like four modules, maybe 2 years. And it's not because it's not owed to what is in the module. I think the writing is still, I think this is above average when it comes to the writing and the content that's in it that you can experience. Even the trial itself, it's above average, but it does not represent the experience. I think since the North Arc, I think WoW Space and up. So I would include some of the North Arc stuff. So it's been close to 2 years. Close to 2 years since I would say this is most of the design choices and whatnot has catastrophically plummeted my enthusiasm for the future. That's probably like a 3 out of 10 in the next once we're done. But yeah, you know, other people I imagine are still going about it. Apparently the probability of loots doing the campaign area is also very disagreeable. You know, bumping the rarity secretly over and over again while bumping the rarity consistently, adulterating the RNG consistently, expanding more and more and inundating gear in order to increase the playtime. I do not take the excuse that making these rarer, reducing reroll has increased the value of these things. I don't take that excuse. I honestly think that is short-sighted. Creating more things to get doesn't necessarily increase the player experience as well. You have all these things. They exist. But generally speaking, live service you want to get these things, but you really don't. At least in my opinion. Like, I'm not gonna sit around to talk about these things. So, sideline everything. Go ahead. It's nice. They look nice. Yep. Alright, and that's a wrap for Neverwinter. I have to do this. I like to complete these things in hope for a better module or a more interesting module along the way. I think loot is as a minority opinion, I think the loot is the least interesting thing that keeps me doing this. It's more like behavioral habit formation, experiences over time, but it has been adulterated consistently by this incessant need for increasing repetition of the same content, but relying on like some archaic feeling that you can reinforce some sort of attachment of value to some virtual gear that somehow brings more value to your experience. I don't think that's true anymore for live service games. The moment you made it a live service game, and the moment you reduce player experience, these things don't mean much. Like if someone has a full set of this, I guess they can feel good about it, but all I see is an impediment to encouraging people to play the game. This is an eyesore. I say it very calmly because I imagine all the other people who still play the game may not share my same opinion. So good luck, have fun, good luck with your roles. That's it for today. I'll be back next week. Next week is the 8th week. It's gonna be 2 days, 3-4 days before Steam sale. We'll see what we can do. I am in the process of looking for a different live service game. I can put this game on the back burner. However, like it doesn't take very long to cover what's useful. So if there isn't anything like being added or whatnot in the future, I'll just cover like the first 4 weeks. Basically, I'm continuing to reduce my time of talking about Neverwinter since there's less and less to talk about, in my opinion. We'll see. I think gaming is very doing kind of well, and despite the recession, this year has been pretty good. So we'll see. We might engage in a different type of Neverwinter thing. Also, a slight note, exciting stuff. Dritz, right? Dritz Udo. I've got his last name. But I believe Netflix, either Netflix or one bigger publisher, pretty sure it's Netflix, has commissioned something that deals with Neverwinter, or at least the Baldur's Gate era, like the, what do you call this realm? Well, anyways, the Neverwinter, like the Forsaken Realms, right? The Forsaken Realms thing. So I look forward to talking about that. If I'm still playing Neverwinter by then, it'll be fun to talk about the show. I like to think it's a show. It might be a movie. So there is some exciting things dealing with Neverwinter around the corner in a different format. But yeah, this game, I don't know where they're going with it, but I can't see the game having a brighter future until some of this leadership decision is changed. Personally. Alright, that's a wrap. I'll see you next week. Again, I welcome anyone who offers a different opinion, maybe have some cool insider data. Break it down for me, offer like a defense, and then I can use that defense, right? If you want to say and share freely some of your data, or any developers, I doubt it. I doubt they have transparency on these things. you know, I would love to see the reasons. If there were reasons, I would share that reason. I'm more than open to that idea. Or maybe there are some other people out there. It's like, oh yeah, that's not true. Like the player base is growing because our quality of life changes, and loot systems and design is targeting markets or targeting growth at this, as opposed to retaining the recession or mitigating the recession, right? And it isn't an attempt to inflate game time artificially and unrewardingly, right? You're more than welcome. I would love to spend most of this time discussing that, because what I'm doing is bootstrapping through the normal routine. So I welcome anyone who is more knowledgeable, maybe working with transparent information and data, or even gather the data themselves to offer a counterpoint. That could fill up the hour and a half that I've allocated. I think I'm reducing my allocation to 2 hours tops. One character, reduce the investment, because I proportionally believe that this is much less than the last 3 modules. So more than welcome. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, moderate, enjoy Neverwinter and D&D in different formats, or you can play this like a live service game like I do. I jump in every 30 minutes, right? Until then, stay safe, and catch you guys on the next one. Bye bye.